Why would a god willingly give up something so precious? Why would Odin, the Allfather of Norse mythology, choose loss in pursuit of understanding? This question has fascinated storytellers, historians, and philosophers for centuries. Odin is often remembered as a powerful ruler, a master of magic, and a figure of authority among the gods. Yet at the heart of his story lies a quiet and deeply symbolic act, a choice that reveals more about wisdom than power. To understand why Odin sacrificed his eye, we must first understand who Odin truly was. In Norse mythology, Odin is not simply a god of strength or dominance. He is a seeker, a traveler, a figure defined by curiosity, reflection, and an unending desire to understand the deeper structure of reality. Unlike gods who rely on inherited power, Odin actively pursues knowledge, even when the cost is personal. The Norse worldview placed immense value on wisdom. Knowledge was not something easily given or freely obtained. It required effort, patience, and often sacrifice. Odin embodied this belief more than any other figure in the myths. One of the most important sources of knowledge in Norse mythology is the Well of Mimir. This well is not merely a physical place, but a symbol of profound insight. It represents understanding of the past, awareness of the present, and glimpses into what may come. The waters of the well are said to hold deep truths about existence, fate, and the hidden patterns that govern the cosmos. Mimir, the guardian of the well, is a being of immense wisdom. He does not offer knowledge lightly. Those who seek to drink from the well must demonstrate that they truly understand the value of what they are asking for. When Odin came to the Well of Mimir, he did not arrive as a ruler demanding access. He came as a seeker, aware that true wisdom requires humility. Mimir understood that knowledge without cost is easily wasted. To drink from the well, Odin was required to give something of great personal value. Not as a punishment, but as a demonstration of commitment. Odin agreed. The sacrifice of his eye is not described in graphic or dramatic terms in the myths. Instead, it is presented as a solemn exchange. One form of sight is given so another form may be gained. This moment is deeply symbolic. By giving up one eye, Odin does not lose vision. He transforms it. He exchanges ordinary perception for deeper awareness. The sacrifice represents a shift from seeing the world as it appears to understanding the world as it truly is. In Norse thought, wisdom often comes from limitation. To know more, one must accept that not everything can be grasped at once. Odin's sacrifice reflects the idea that insight requires focus, reflection, and the willingness to let go of superficial clarity. After drinking from the well, Odin gains access to profound knowledge. He understands the nature of the cosmos, the structure of fate, and the interconnectedness of all things. Yet this knowledge does not bring comfort or certainty. It brings responsibility. Odin becomes aware of Ragnarok, the eventual transformation of the world, and the fate that awaits gods and mortals alike. Rather than avoiding this knowledge, he accepts it. Wisdom, in Norse mythology, is not about control, but about preparation. From this point on, Odin's actions are shaped by foresight rather than impulse. He becomes a guide, a teacher, and a strategist. He seeks to prepare the world, not to escape its destiny, but to face it with understanding. Odin's single eye becomes one of his most defining features. It is not a mark of weakness, but a symbol of insight. It reminds those who encounter him that true wisdom often requires difficult choices. This theme appears repeatedly throughout Odin's story. He is known to wander the world in disguise, learning from humans and spirits alike. He listens more than he speaks. He observes patterns, behaviors, and traditions, gathering knowledge from every possible source. His ravens, Huginn and Muninn, whose names translate to thought and memory, reflect this ongoing pursuit of understanding. They travel the world and return with insights, reinforcing Odin's role as a collector of wisdom rather than a distant ruler. Odin's sacrifice also reflects the Norse understanding of leadership. A leader is not someone who avoids loss, but someone who accepts responsibility. By giving up his eye, Odin demonstrates that authority is earned through insight, not force. The story invites us to reconsider how we define success and strength. In modern terms, sacrifice is often associated with loss. In this myth, it is associated with growth. Odin does not seek knowledge to dominate others. He seeks it to understand the balance of the cosmos and his role within it. This distinction is crucial. Wisdom, when pursued for the right reasons, becomes a tool for harmony rather than control. The sacrifice of the eye also emphasizes the importance of perspective. With one physical eye, Odin sees less of the immediate world. With his inner vision, he sees far more. The myth suggests that clarity does not always come from more information, but from deeper reflection. In a culture shaped by harsh environments and uncertain futures, the Norse people valued preparation over comfort. Odin's story reflects this worldview. Knowledge is not a luxury, it is a necessity. Even after gaining wisdom from the well, Odin continues to seek understanding. His journey never truly ends. This reinforces a powerful message. Wisdom is not a destination, but a process. The story of Odin's sacrifice has endured because it speaks to a universal truth. Growth often requires letting go of something familiar. Understanding often demands patience and humility, and wisdom is rarely free. Rather than portraying Odin as a flawless figure, the myth presents him as a learner, someone willing to accept limitation in order to gain insight. This makes him relatable, not distant. In many ways, Odin's sacrifice reflects the human experience. We all face moments where choices must be made. Where one path closes, so another can open. The myth reminds us that these moments, though difficult, often lead to deeper understanding. Odin's eye at the bottom of the well is sometimes described as a symbol that wisdom is always anchored in sacrifice. Knowledge carries weight. It changes how we see the world and how we act within it. The story does not glorify loss, it gives it meaning. Over time, Odin becomes known not only as the Allfather, but as a symbol of wisdom earned through experience. His sacrifice becomes a reminder that insight requires intention and effort. In the end, the question is not simply why Odin sacrificed his eye. The deeper question is what he gained. He gained understanding, foresight, and a deeper connection to the structure of existence. He gained the ability to guide rather than command, and he gained the wisdom to face the future with awareness rather than fear. The myth invites us to reflect on our own relationship with knowledge. What are we willing to give up in order to grow? What distractions, assumptions, or comforts might stand in the way of deeper understanding? Odin's story does not offer easy answers. Instead, it offers a perspective. Wisdom is not about having more. It is about seeing differently. And sometimes, the greatest insight comes not from what we hold on to, but from what we are willing to release. Thank you for spending this time exploring one of the most symbolic stories in Norse mythology. If you enjoy thoughtful interpretations of ancient myths and the ideas behind them, consider subscribing for more stories that explore wisdom, meaning, and the timeless lessons hidden within mythological traditions. And feel free to share which story you would like to explore next.